Welcome back, everybody, to the OtakuZone. My name is Lighter, and today I'm joined by the fucking Panico.
Thanks, man.
You guys will probably want to watch the first video before you actually get to this part of the video, but you know, you never know. If you want to skip, that's your choice and everything. Okay, so on this part, we're gonna talk about how the games develop and how the anime developed throughout the years. Yeah. We have 20 years now of the Pokemon series, and for 20 years of the existence of it, I do think that, at least as a whole, they could have done probably a little bit better.
Just a tiny bit.
Just a tiny bit. What do you think for the games, though? What do you think? Do you think the games could actually have gone better, or they actually been doing pretty well in the last 20 years?
I think they've been doing pretty well. I mean, with the implementation of the new Mega Evolutions.
Yeah.
And the Z moves, which are all interesting.
Yeah, for you, if you guys don't know, Generation 6 implemented both Mega Evolutions, which is a new stage of evolution for different types of Pokemon that we have now, while Z moves just recently came out just a couple of months ago, where, at least at the recording of this video, where basically you just power up your Pokemon's one special move into a more overpowered move, basically, and then just beat the crap out of your friends.
Yeah.
or the Pokemon itself, you know. So I do have to say that as a whole, for me, my favorite part was probably Generation 2, for two reasons exactly. One, it was a brand new generation. So for them to implement 100 new Pokemon to the series was actually pretty fun, considering, for at least in the anime side, that Ash had to go through once again trying to catch new Pokemon for his team. And this time I was actually having all 3 starters in his team.
Yeah.
It was the same as Generation 1.
Yeah.
So he had, Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle in the first generation, and he had both Chikorita, Cyndaquil, and Totodile in the second generation.
Yep.
I do have to say that was actually pretty cool to keep from the first generation, because Ash himself doesn't do much training in the first generation. Actually, in the first, I want to say 5 generations, because in itself, I think Ash development was actually very poor for a good chunk of the series.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Unfortunately, Ash doesn't know the concept of just training his Pokemon and evolve them to the highest level that he can actually get them. So he had a pretty mediocre team throughout 5 generations.
Yeah.
So he had very beginning starters in the first generation. He never evolved any of them except Charizard. Yeah. He had Bulbasaur and Squirtle. If he actually would have evolved them into his final forms, I do think he would have gotten a better chance.
Yeah.
The same goes with Generation 2. The only Pokemon that got to evolve to his second generation on Generation 2, only in Generation 2, because he actually happens later generations, was Chikorita.
Yeah.
It evolved into a Bayleaf, but that's it. Until probably not. I don't think it has evolved into his ultimate yet. So.
I don't think so.
Cyndaquil did evolve in Generation, I want to say 4 or 5, I think.
I think so.
I think it was in Generation 4, because 6 is already X and Y. So in Generation 4, when he was in the not the poem, but the oh god, I can't remember the name of the generation.
Unova?
No, Unova was the 5th generation. Okay. That was the Black and White series. So I can't really remember the generation name, but I do remember seeing an episode where Cyndaquil actually evolves into a Quilava during some battle with Team Rocket. Yeah. So that being said, of course, Ash didn't have a full-fledged team until Generation 6. When Generation 6 came out, goodness gracious, I cannot believe how Ash actually developed in that series. Like, in itself, having started, he started having only one starter of the generations, starting Generation 3. Right. He had, in Generation 3, he had, what was it called, the starter Pokemon? The Trico. He had Trico and all the way into Fun Evolution. Of course, some of the other Pokemon didn't evolve until then, and of course, he always had a fly type Pokemon. Of course. But that being said, of course, in Generation 6, Ash actually developed a lot stronger. I did think that his also his animation and his character development was actually a lot better.
Yeah.
for two main reasons. One, I think his companions were a little more stronger in developing him as a whole for Ash, I guess. And of course, Serena being the love interest of the 6th generation this time around, which actually is more canon, I think.
Yes.
But that being said, of course, Ash did go through getting probably one of the some of the best Pokemons in Generation 6.
Yeah.
If we're just gonna go down to this theme, because Generation 6 for me has actually been pretty amazing for the anime. And I'm sorry I'm not giving you much to talk right now.
It's fine.
But we had, Pikachu as his starter, which at this point Pikachu is an overpowered
Badass.
Thank you for the word. We had Halucha as a flying fighting type Pokemon, and I do have to say that he actually developed Halucha pretty well in the series too. Not having an evolution it's good too, because sometimes the Pokemon in itself is actually pretty strong.
Yeah.
So Halucha was actually a good addition to the team. He had Fletching Blair, the flying type Pokemon, but he was also a fire type. So having that 2 type differences in that, and having his Pokemon usually in speed rather than strength, was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
He had, of course, Noibat, the evolving to a Noivern.
Yep.
And having a dragon flying type was actually amazing for Ash. I mean, I didn't think it was gonna happen for him to actually ever get a dragon type.
Plus, it's kind of badass.
It's kind of badass. Yeah. Now, of course, Noivern wasn't as strongest one yet.
Yeah.
Like he actually had 3 more Pokemon in there. One of them being Gudra.
Yep.
Gudra is just, people didn't think it was gonna be that much of a strong Pokemon when first introduced as a Gumi, but he became super amazing badass at that point.
Yep.
And in the Pokemon games, how is Gudra?
Great.
Gudra is probably one of the pursued legendaries in the game, so it's like, for him to get a pure dragon type was amazing. Now, I do have to say that for Ash's team, or at least Ash's perspective, having Gudra as his dragon type was probably the best choice they could have done in the anime.
Yeah.
Because it's not, a Dragonite kind of type, or a Hydreigon, I think it's called.
Yeah, Hydreigon.
So it doesn't fit Ash. It doesn't fit Ash to have, that kind of pure type dragon Pokemon.
Yeah.
But Gudra, not being a flying type, but being a pure dragon itself, was actually pretty good. Now, I did say 3, I think it was only 2, one more. And of course, the one and only Greninja.
Yep.
Having this from the first starter of the series, of course, and evolving into a Greninja itself. And the one thing that they didn't give Ash was a Mega Evolution. But Greninja as of itself was a Mega Evolution introduced for Ash only.
Yeah.
Because through the battle bond between them.
Yes.
At least that's the name that it's called from now on because of the games. The games didn't have Ash Greninja in the introduction of X and Y, of course.
That's right.
It actually had it after the introduction of Sun and Moon came out. Because they knew that Ash Greninja was actually an amazing Pokemon out there. So they actually gave him as a special freeze demo that you can transfer to the main game once you got it.
That's right. So,
Ash Greninja, or at least Greninja himself, was probably his best Pokemon out there for the reason of being able to Mega Evolve without the concept of Mega Evolution out there,
Mm-hmm.
So, for the games, what did you think when X and Y was actually introduced?
When X and Y was introduced,
yeah.
Especially with Mega Evolutions, just complete game changer.
Yeah, because Mega Evolutions for a lot of the Mega Evolutions actually was that only some of the very beginning Pokemon had the Mega Evolutions.
Yeah.
We'll go with the 3 starters from the Kanto region, of course, and we had Pinsir, Metagross, Salmancer.
Yep.
Gyarados had a Mega Evolution. Has a Mega Evolution actually, but it wasn't like, okay, so new Pokemons don't have Mega Evolution. Like the new generations don't have it yet. It's only the older generations that do.
Yep.
And up to Generation 6, only anything below Generation 6 had a Mega Evolution. So that's why Ash Greninja was actually a pretty cool concept, because it was like the first of the new ones to come out. And what did you think when the equilibrium changed when the new type of Pokemon came out?
Oh geez, you're talking about the elusive fairy type.
Yes, the fairy type Pokemon was also introduced into Generation 6, and excuse me, it changed the equilibrium of the game completely.
Yeah.
What was the best type Pokemon out there before fairy types came out? And at least in the concept of the newer generations instead of just the primary generations.
For straight up damage, it is probably Dragon type.
Okay. Mostly because Dragon types are usually pursue legendaries in every generation.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dragon types were OP.
Yeah, for pretty much
a good chunk of the series. Yeah. Dragon types in itself was probably just the one Pokemon that you always wanted to catch in the games because they always give you the advantage in every single fight. And being only weakened to what, 2 types of Pokemon at that moment? At the start.
Let's see. For a pure dragon,
dragon.
Just dragon and ice.
So 2 typings that you had to counter most of the time was pretty badass back in the day.
Yeah.
So having only 2 weaknesses was good. Now, of course, the concept of dual
dual
types was also introduced a couple. It was still introduced in the first generation, but it was more applied to in later generations.
Yes.
So for that concept, of course, being maybe a dark ghost type was OP at that point because there was no weaknesses to it.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people used Sableye, and some people use Spiritomb. 2
of the most prepared ghost types before fairy types were introduced.
Yeah.
When fairy types were introduced, man oh man, they were going down quickly.
Yeah.
We do have to say that at the point of this recording, fairy types are the second most OP Pokemon typing out there for the generations.
Yeah, you can say that.
Fairy types only have 2 weaknesses to it. It has weakness to
steel and poison.
Right, and that it's pretty hard to come by in the beginning series, in the beginning of the games.
Yeah.
You could get a Eevee early in the game in the Generation 6 and Generation 7 of the series, so getting into a Sylveon, which is the evolution of Eevee, a fairy type Pokemon, a pure fairy type Pokemon, was actually pretty good, considering the fact that they really wanted Sylveon to be a thing, and it is. But yes, development of the games and the anime has actually evolved dramatically since the beginning of Pokemon. And I do have to say this fun fact actually. The Pokemon series wasn't actually supposed to be this long.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was. I'm sorry. Continue.
That was
Okay.
enough of yours.
The Pokemon series was only supposed to be a good anime sequence of 26 episodes, if I remember correctly, how the interview went with the creator of Pokemon. But I'm sorry, the director, I guess. But they did say that Pokemon was only supposed to be for a good chunk of the 1990s.
Yeah.
But because how popular it became and how it was actually licensed back then, Pokemon series did grow as a whole, introducing both new games and new seasons to the story.
Yeah.
So that is at least our concept of how it went throughout the years. There's gonna be one more video after this, so thank you very much for joining us for this second part of the series. In the third part, we're just gonna go ahead and conclude our thoughts of how the Pokemon could have been better, or at least what we want it to be in the future, both for the anime and the games, of course.
Yes.
So thank you. If you guys enjoyed the video, go ahead and like, subscribe, whatever you guys really want to do. It doesn't matter, just as long as you guys really like this video. So thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you in the next one.